that I missed. Some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wonder what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning. Hello. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm LaVern, and this is One Street Over. Wednesday, and it's cool out there. Wish we could keep it. We're not going to get to the podcast temperatures. Y'all pull those microphones, ladies and gentlemen. I got Joe Eaton in the house, and Mark Raley.
I took a walk one street over from my home.
My friends,
Cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. One street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I love today.
I'm in Greenbrier, teaching. It's all about
One street over there's a life I could have known. Things aren't always.
This is the day the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Listening to great gospel music on WSGI AM 1100, Springfield's God Informer.
And, I mean, because these are Vietnam heroes that did not return home.
One street over there's a life I could have known.
And so
One
we
beyond
honor
my
them every year.
wildest dreams.
And I mean, I'm stunned that I didn't realize
Maybe
this
that
until
road could have
my first
carried
year. I
me
didn't
to streets of
know
gold.
this because
Things aren't always as they
it's
seem.
criticizing this girl. And so
Looking back on all the chances that I missed,
yes, we do.
some I held, some slipped away.
Talk to me about this. How
One street over where my memories exist. I wonder what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
One of Jared Pearson's students at East Robinson, and we played Greenbrier in 1966, and he drug us all up and down the field.
curtain,
played for Springfield.
simply curtain that rises to the
We all hung out.
stage. Silly games of second guessing.
Going to
I
parades
just
and
forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from what I had
he wanted to do
today.
some memorials to his friends like Carol. Little did he know in about 2 months, he just
I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing.
This is a
I
little
won't
side
forget the
story.
lessons that I don't deserve.
This year,
One
we
street
placed
over
flags
there's
on
a life I
parades.
could have known. Would have kept me from
And I
what
was
I
placing the
love
flags and
today.
walking through it, and I came upon
One street over there's a life I could have known.
wow, this is
Things aren't always one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from what I had today.
and I looked about 6 feet from Dwight Carroll is William Pittsburgh. I called all the guys over. I said, man, y'all got to see this.
Because I want them to know what this is about. And
One street over there's a life I could
I
have
talk a
known.
lot about
One beyond my
military
wildest dreams.
and they know about cleanup,
Maybe
and
that
I
road
talk
could have
about
carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem.
but these guys, have they ever been honored at all?
Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away.
They had
One street over where my memories exist. I wonder what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from what I had today.
I graduated in 1967. They graduated in 67. And I was drafted in 68. Worked for the Vietnam in 69.
Time's gone by, I've traded like dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end.
But from 1965
One
to
street over is now 1,000 miles
if you
away.
didn't go to
When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've
everybody knew they were
been.
gone. We all
In this life there's
accepted
nothing
it.
certain,
Wondered if
except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from what I had today.
Cars, guys.
always
This is the weekend you need to get out to the races. Veterans Motorplex, they're racing every Saturday night through October. Of course, weather permitting. That's why you need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. Follow them at the old webpage. Whenever they switched over to Veterans Motorplex, they had 19,000 followers, so they hung on to that old name. You'll find it on social media, Highland Rim Speedway, but that's where you check out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. One of the best-kept secrets in Robertson County, racing every Saturday night on a quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring, fun for the whole family. Real estate community. You can get out there and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty can give you the answers you're looking for. Maybe you're wondering a lot of the students in the area, that's their first summer job. $40 ticket will get Rebecca specifically answer that question because she's one of the first in the area to be a senior real estate specialist. So she's specifically trained to answer those questions. When it comes to selling, would you like to have a marketer on your team? Barry is a marketer. For 17 years, he was a vice president of a media marketing company in Nashville. Now he's a broker in Springfield for Exit Prime. Rebecca's office is an agency office up in White House. They combined the two to bring you Exit Prime Realty. Same great Exit team, just a new branch in the tree. No matter what your needs are, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're from Robertson County. They've been here for nearly 30 years up in Cross Plains, but they're originally from Kentucky, so they also know the nuances of buying and selling in Kentucky and all the surrounding areas. Reach out to them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know you turned
I want to present it to you guys.
I want to be there so bad. I feel like this is our year.
They do. Both teams play hard. They compete.
Hi, this is Jonathan Wilburn. You're listening to the best in Southern gospel, country gospel, and bluegrass gospel on WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
You're listening to the world's best music, good news music, gospel music on WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
And it's for real. And these two boys, they had a calling, they had an honor, and they went, and they lost their life.
One beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change. I really couldn't. Like there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I couldn't know, could have kept me from what I had today.
Yeah, I've already collected
answers in the real estate community. Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty can give you the answers you're looking for. Maybe you're wondering if it's time to buy. Is it time to sell? You're older. Is it time to downsize? Rebecca can specifically answer that question because she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So she's specifically trained to answer those questions. When it comes to selling, would you like to have a marketer on your team? Barry is a marketer. For 17 years, he was a vice president of a media marketing company in Nashville. Now he's a broker in Springfield for Exit Prime. Rebecca's office is an agency office up in White House. They combined the two to bring you Exit Prime Realty. Same great Exit team, just a new branch in the tree. No matter what your needs are, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're from Robertson County. They've been here for nearly 30 years up in Cross Plains, but they're originally from Kentucky, so they also know the nuances of buying and selling in Kentucky and all the surrounding areas. Reach out to them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know you turned sensitive. Needing a thing of groceries.
One street over there's a life I could have known.
And every red cent that is brought in, it goes to veterans.
Right.
We do
Suffering,
support,
struggling, whatever the case may be.
Right.
we do support the junior RLTC of Springfield or Robertson County, and that's a passion for us.
This is the picture my husband sent me. He's like, check your text.
Yep.
And so that is the one. But see, the helmet is black. Those are helmets.
Actually, it's dark green.
Is it dark green?
Yeah.
So I was looking at it and I was like, okay.
Lord, don't.
Oh.
Let's make sure the people of Greenbrier know that helmet is dark green.
Okay, that's a dark green helmet. So that would have been the kind, okay. Because when you look at it, it kind of looks, okay, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I wasn't sure and I didn't want them fussing at me. It's Vivio. That's not our helmet.
That's right.
But anyway, but I'll get a picture of the trophy. But and back to talking about the VFW, you know, that's one of the things people don't realize, and you need to realize, is that those opportunities to get the poppies and do the turkey shoots. Turkey shoots are going to be starting up too, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to have turkey shoots again?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I mean, don't we do those coming up on Thanksgiving, or is it? I'm pretty sure we do.
It's in November.
Yeah. It's coming up.
October, November.
It goes for 30 days.
No, for 60 days.
Okay, because we've got
2 months.
Yeah.
Veteran Service Office comes in next week,
Yeah.
so I'll make they cover that always, so we'll get that going. But
Surely they'll know.
yeah, they will. They will. And it's so funny because Gwen Harder's over there now at Veteran Service Office, and she messaged me. She goes, "I'll see you Wednesday." I'm like, "Nope, you're next Wednesday." I got people already coming in this Wednesday, so but that's great. And just can't say enough about getting out and supporting our veterans. And another way to do it is to get out to this game.
That's right.
Take your family, tell them the story, and make sure that they know.
The service office is in a new building now.
Yes, it is.
They got a brand new office.
Mm-hmm. They say they're just beside themselves. They're just giddy.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen it?
I have not, but I'm planning on seeing it.
Mayor Vogel was in here yesterday, and he's moved over there as well. So
He's hiding. He's hiding from everybody over there.
No, they need the courthouse for court stuff, and
That's
so
right.
they moved the mayor out of there.
Yeah.
And of course, the courthouse is in I mean, it is under major renovation right now because of that the roof gate kind of leaked really bad. Not surprised. I found out they put a third roof.
Well, it's
on that
older.
thing.
It's older than I am.
Well, yeah. But they had 3 roofs on it.
That's right.
We were roofing contractors for 20 years. You don't put a third roof on.
No.
You don't do that. That's not good. That's not a good investment. But anyway, nonetheless, so they had a lot of water get in there, and so they're cleaning up from that. But yes, the mayor is in the new office. It's in what was the old doctor's building. It's across from where you get your license and all that's just across the street.
Right.
Veteran Service Office is in there now, and they got all kinds of room. And they started they had a little room in the back of the Greenbrier City Hall, wasn't it?
I called it the closet.
They really were. I mean, when I first met Terry, it was just a closet, pretty much.
And I know Terry real good, so he's definitely come out of the closet.
I'll tell you, he's like, Joe, cut it out. But that's great. Well, we just again remind you, it's the Pitt Carroll Memorial Game. It happens between Springfield and Greenbrier every year. First game. Last year we were at Springfield, and I mean we got close to beating them last year.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, we almost got them. I think we're gonna get them this year, y'all.
Hey,
This Friday evening, the 23rd.
That's
it's
right.
gonna happen.
Come on. And kickoff is it at 6?
I think
I'm not a sports person.
The kickoff is about 6:30.
6:30.
Yeah,
Okay.
7, maybe 7.
Okay.
But
well, and we're going to have big pep rally on Friday at Greenbrier.
we're going to have a tent set up. Out,
good.
Just right outside the field where all the players can see the trophy, as they walk on the field. And,
that's awesome.
And
understand the story. Well, we'll do something. We'll do something with their newscast about this on Friday. I don't know exactly. I don't know if we can present this entire piece in the thing. I'll have to read through it and see how long it is.
You can pick and choose. Pick something out.
And pick some of it out. Yeah. And I already. It's so funny. I've already got 2 other people doing the news, but I kind of wish Jackson was doing it. I might have him just read part of it for me since he's one. Yeah. I don't know if there's any other seniors that have already signed up. I'm sure there are some at Greenbrier, but I know he has. So I think he'd appreciate it more than any of the others. So maybe I'll twist his arm and get him to do another excerpt for me.
And there are plenty of veterans out there.
Yeah.
And our post, 2120, we are with open arms. If they want a place of feeling of belonging, and we certainly have a place for their sacrifice where they have served to be with us.
Amen. So you're inviting them to come be a part of the VFW?
Yes, please. I've been in a lot of clubs in my lifetime, but I've never been with a bunch of guys and gals that's just like me.
Yeah.
And that's what counts.
So what do they need to do if they want to join the VFW?
We meet the 3rd Saturday of every month in Greenbrier.
At the Legion building.
The American Legion building, who we now share with them.
Okay.
And that starts at 9:30.
Yeah.
I say again, the 3rd Saturday of every month.
Come at 9:00 and have coffee and donuts.
There you go. Now tell me this, because is there another VFW in Robertson County, or y'all?
No, we're exclusive Robertson County.
You're the Robertson County, so it's because I'm looking at the hat here. Mark's got on it says Robertson County VFW. So typically, does each county in Tennessee have a VFW?
It could include more than one county.
Okay.
We're in District 4, which includes Robertson County, Sumner County, Trousdale, and Wilson County.
Okay.
And Richard Lee has been the commander of the district twice.
Okay.
He's been a commander of the state of Tennessee VFW, and he's a member of our post.
Okay.
So 2120 is well known.
Okay.
In Robinson County, and the things that we do, we help veterans.
Okay.
And that's what we do.
We have a float, Christmas parades.
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and,
Uh-huh. And I mean, y'all are just everywhere, and I love you. Got the best hot dogs ever. Anytime I
Isn't
see
that
you
the
guto
truth?
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you just, if you see them, you got to get a hot dog because it's the best, and just love it. And but now, if to qualify to be in the VFW, what does it require?
Well, you have the American Legion.
Okay.
And you have the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Mm-hmm. To be a Veterans of Foreign Wars, you've had to been in a hostile place. In other words, you had to been shot at, and you do shooting. Mm-hmm. So, and I did both.
Okay.
So you have to be in a combat zone.
Okay.
To be a VFW.
Okay. So, like my kid served in Afghanistan.
Yes.
He would qualify for the VFW.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, because I just wonder, he may already be in the VFW. He's over in, he lives in Davidson. So which post would he be with? Or can somebody, if you live in Davidson, can you be a part of the 2120? Because he's from here.
I'm
trying to get him moved back here. If any of them move back, it'll probably be him.
I really think you could. Davidson County has like 2 or 3 VFWs.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. He'd like y'all better.
Oh,
I know
well, of course he would. And
I'd love to get him involved with you guys. They're talking about possibly moving up here and building. Yeah. So,
he can transfer.
There you go.
He can transfer his membership, and we have a lot of that.
Okay.
We have a lot of life members in our post. So it's we're about 100 strong.
Okay.
About a third of them actually participate in everything that we do.
Right.
So.
Well, I see the same guys usually.
Oh, yeah.
So I've always kind of wondered what the structure is of it.
Yeah.
So, I know Mark was like, well, we're going to have 15 minutes. I'm like, no, we're going to talk for a minute. I want to visit with you and kind of see.
I'm not done.
You know, no, exactly. Well, I did see Ryan pop his head in, so we do just kind of need to recap and wrap up. But this is, the guys came in, Joe and Mark came in because we want to make sure you're aware of the Pitt Carroll Memorial football game. Happens every year. It's between Springfield and Greenbrier because which one played for Greenbrier?
William Pitt.
William Pitt, and then
Dwight Carroll.
Played for Springfield. So they played against each other, but they were friends, and they joined the Marines together.
Yes, it did.
And they both lost their lives in Vietnam, both of them dragging comrades off the field.
About 2 months apart.
2 months apart. Mm-hmm. So, wow. Isn't this appropriate that we honor that?
Yes.
And so this is an opportunity to remind your kids freedom's not free. And those fields that they're playing on, these young men played on, and then they gave their life for their country. So what a more, beautiful thing to honor.
Yeah.
So, well, we're gonna put. Thank you so much for this. I've been needing something like this that kind of unpacked it for me, so I had all the details because I want to make sure I had them right. Because you look at different things and all that, and sometimes you get misinformation and stuff. So I'm really excited to have that. Love you guys. You
Thank
know
you.
that. Anything
We
I
love
can ever
you.
do for you, and he's my neighbor, I found out.
Yeah.
Practically just lives around the corner from me.
We're
So.
right there.
Yeah, well, very good.
If you ever need us, you know where we at.
Absolutely, and y'all do too. So anything else we need to cover before I bring Ryan in here?
Not a thing.
All right, love you.
Love you.
And maybe I'll see you Friday night. We'll
right.
see. We'll see
All right.
how my
Love
legs
you.
are doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you,
everything.
Mark. Thank
Appreciate
you so much. Thank you, Joe, always. And thank you to the 2120 VFW. And we got a little education about it. So, and if you're a veteran, want to hang out with some of your colleagues, there you go. And that's a great place to be. Thank you guys so very much.
Amen.
And I'm going to do an ad while I let you guys slide out and let Ryan come on in here. Y'all tell him. I don't have a break. I can't turn it off, so I got to keep talking.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank
you,
you.
Mark. Thank you, Joe,
All right.
so
Thank
much.
you.
And so, again, we're going to keep talking about the Pitt Carroll Memorial Game, and we'll do something special for it up at Greenbrier on our newscast as well. But I also want to talk to you a little bit about, let's just, we're talking about veterans. Let's talk about Veterans Motorplex. Up at the Rim, Mr. Jerry, he loves his veterans, and he is a veteran himself. And he wants to honor that by changing the old historic Highland Rim Speedway was switched over to Veterans Motorplex years ago, and they have done some major improvements out there. They were a little bit late starting their season because they were doing improvements, but they are open, and they've been open for a while, but you need to get out there. So many people have not been to the races. You haven't been to the races in a while, and you think, well, I don't like racing. You just don't have any idea what you're missing. It's so much fun watching those cars zip around the track. They've got a great ticket price I like to talk about. If you want to take your entire family, you can go out for $40, take up to 6 minor kids under 18 and 2 adults for a $40 ticket. That is a great deal. Now, if you want to go just on your own, $15 will get you in. If you're an adult, if you're a senior, 62 or older, military or students that are ages 13 to 17, you can get in for $12. Kids are 6 to 12 are just $5. Kids under 5, they are free. They've even got some pit admission prices if you want to get out on the pit and be there for all the action. Grandstand's open every Saturday, 4:15, weather permitting. The pit opens at about 1 o'clock. So they'll have some kids games, things like that. Racing will get started at 7:30, but it's a good time, guys. And if you haven't been to the races, get to the races before the season is over. This is at Veterans Motorplex. This is in the heart of Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. It is a quarter-mile high-banked asphalt bull ring historic racetrack. A lot of greats have raced on this track. And again, it's all spiffed up and looking great for a whole new season. And if you want to get out there to the races, you've got until the end of October. So be sure and get there as soon as you can. And be sure to and follow them at Highland Rim Speedway, the old social media page. They kept that. And that is the place where you can find out if there is a rain delay. If we were to have rain or something like that, they'll let you know there. But when you reach out to him and when you get a chance to talk to Jerry, please always let him know. Hello, my friend.
Good morning.
You're probably one of my favorite guests because I don't have to call and remind you. You just always show up. They may
Whether you want me or not, I I'm going to show up.
Well, and all my reoccurring guests, I don't have to remind them either. But you're really the only one that I don't call and give a reminder to.
Okay, well that makes. I'm glad.
Because you're just so you've got your schedule down, and you're on it.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I guess.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much, because we want to know what's going on in our city.
Sure.
Springfield is the county seat of Robertson County. We have a lot of cities and a lot of municipalities and all of that going on through Robertson County, but Springfield is really the big one. And so we need to know what's happening. So what's happening, brother?
Well, we had our Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting last night, and so we had quite a lengthy agenda, and so we'll go over a few things that we did last night. Some of the more mundane stuff, the second readings on ordinances, but some of them that might be of interest. We did pass on second reading the electric renewable generation policy for folks that now want to put solar panels in their house. We talked about that last month.
That's something I'm interested in on my barn.
That's officially in place now, where folks can do that. Where if they want to kind of, I hate to use the term off the grid, but if they want to, kind of generate their own and then sell the excess back to the system, to TVA, we can now accommodate that as the middleman, because we're the middle between TVA and the customer. So we purchase the electricity from TVA, and then we sell to the residents here.
Okay.
And maintain the system. So the rate that you pay for electricity, because obviously we're a municipal utility, the rate that you pay for electricity is what it cost us to buy it from TVA and what it costs us to maintain the system. Okay. That's the margin. I mean, we don't make money. We're not, in the profit business or anything like that. But that's why our electric rates tend to be cheaper as of last fall, out of the 144 local power companies in the Tennessee Valley region, we had the seventh lowest electric rates.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's something to be proud of.
It is, if you're maintaining your system right, and we feel like for the most part now, we had Mother Nature, and everybody has had Mother Nature wear us out over the last year or so with different storms and some severe weather events. But by and large, we don't have outages every week. Yeah, I mean, we don't have outages every month. Mm-hmm. So we're very fortunate in that regard, that we have a system that's reliable. A lot of that goes into tree trimming to keep trees off the lines, and when a wind does come through, it doesn't blow down lines. So anyway, that's a little bit about our electric utility. We also approved our support for nonprofits last night. It's a budgeted amount, but we support certain nonprofits like the Robertson County Senior Center and United Way and CASA and United Ministries and things like that. Things that when organizations step up and want to fill a void and a need, or ministry in the city, that, like United Ministries is a great example, in the food bank, right? That's something that our elected officials feel like the taxpayers need to help support and provide some stabilization too, right? Mm-hmm. And so, because if those organizations weren't doing that, and you know this, if those organizations weren't doing it, people would be looking to the government to do it. Right. And so if those organizations are doing it, we need to make sure to support, and I would encourage the public to support organizations that are filling a void and filling a need in the community. So My Father's House is another great example of that. For sure. And so they're part of our support list this year as well. We renewed a lease at the airport for the radio tower, which that's kind of one of those business items for the airport. The county and the city jointly own the land that the airport is on, and so it's a joint venture between us. But what I want to make a point about the airport is we're having about 1,500 to 2,000 what they call operations a month out there right now. Have you had Brian on?
I have not. I was just about to ask you, who do I need to reach out to? Because I had Gina on, talking about it. She was on the board.
She's on the board.
And I'm assuming she still is, but is she the person who I need to have on? I love just having Gina hold in.
Yeah, I mean.
But, she's fun.
Yeah.
But do I need to call her, or is there somebody else to get an update? Because Mayor Vogel mentioned the airport yesterday. Yeah. So I feel like we need to probably have them in.
I think so. Brian Urbach is he is the airport manager. A great guy. He's been there a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. Okay. And they're doing a great job with the airport, with the new terminal out there. Of course, Gina's going to always be entertaining. She can talk about anything. She can talk about the airport board. She can talk about the beer board. She serves on that.
She don't have nothing to do anymore.
Historical Society.
She's retired.
She's involved in everything.
She's not doing anything. She's going to kill me.
But Brian is the
forever.
Airport manager, and he would be able to give you an update on the events they have coming up, because they have a lot of public events,
right?
And they're huge. I would. I mean, it's just awesome to go out there and watch
I love going out there.
Planes, and a lot of things are going on. It's not, if you're someone, I was talking to somebody a few months ago who hasn't been who's from Springfield and lives in another city, nearby Middle Tennessee, and comes back and forth and talking about the airport. He's like, why do you always talk about the airport? That airport. I was like, oh, you have no idea. It's not the same as it was 25 or 30 years ago. It's a lot different operation now. So,
and it services this area. And, it's just big planes come in. Big planes can come in.
They do.
I don't know if you can get, can you pretty much bring anything in or?
So the largest plane that they have land out there is a Gulfstream G650, which is like a $300 million plane, I think, or brand new. But
executives, things like that. If they've got business in Nashville and want to not deal with Nashville traffic, they're coming here.
That's right.
And that's what's happening. And it's huge.
We also have, like that Gulfstream, for instance, is for a local company here. So that one of the companies here is owned by a holding company in New York, and they fly in on their Gulfstream. And it's a really nice plane. But so the runway was extended a few years ago to accommodate larger jets.
Right.
And so now it's not just a recreational airfield. There's a lot of general aviation.
It's pretty cool.
Private aviation. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Cool stuff.
Pretty neat planes out there.
Okay, continue on. I'm going to try to jump now because I know you got a lot to cover.
Oh, no, it's okay. So one of the other things that we've been studying lately is our city court costs.
Okay.
So our city court costs haven't changed as far as the court costs we assess to folks that get violations, whether it be a property maintenance violation or whether it be a speeding ticket, anything that is a violation of a city ordinance. We're limited of what we can charge from a fine perspective to $50. That's a Tennessee constitutional limitation on city court. So the maximum fine that you are going to pay if you get a city ordinance violation is $50. That's written into the Tennessee Constitution. Been that way for 100 years. $50 meant a lot more back in that.
It's just like, $50.
So, and some folks have taken advantage of that. Right. For instance, with high grass, we were the cheapest mowing service in town for high grass, complaints for a while. But our court costs and the costs of the court have risen. So that's something that we've undertaken, and we did a study, or we kind of evaluated that internally and produced some results to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen last night about what that looks like. And so I believe we'll be raising the court costs, because it looks to be that when we looked at the numbers, the taxpayers have been subsidizing that city court more than they should. And so the violators are the ones that the board, I think, feels needs to be paying for the costs of the court.
I agree,
so take that off the backs of the taxpayers, right? So I think we'll be raising those court costs pretty soon. Not the fine, because the fine can't change as far as the punitive, the punishment part of it. It's the cost of the court that'll be.
Okay, so at least you can recover that part of it. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay,
exactly.
Very good.
Yeah. And another discussion last night that had come up is a really interesting concept. One of our board members had been reached out by a constituent to talk about special occasion beer permits. So right now, and this is I won't get too deep into this because this is diving off into a big hole of state law and how it's set up between locals and state. Special occasion beer permits. So right now, if you're a nonprofit agency, you can get a special occasion beer permit. Why would you want to do that? Well, think about a restaurant that has a beer permit that's allowed to sell beer, right? And serve beer. A nonprofit organization maybe doesn't have a static location. Think about a civic club or something like that.
Right.
So, but they might want to sell beer at their event or their fundraiser, so they can get a special occasion beer permit. The question that's only available to nonprofits, and the reason for that is the state also set it up that way for liquor. So state regulates liquor and local governments regulate beer. Again, it's really weird in Tennessee.
Oh, I know.
Really strange. So the question came up about, can we allow for-profit entities to purchase or to get a special event beer permit and sell alcohol at their events? So a lot of research was done. No city in Tennessee has done it. Gallatin has it available, but no city has done it. And so it was a good discussion. It was interesting. It was one of those things where I think, we talked about it last night. The board doesn't want to limit, legitimate folks, but opening it up to anybody allows for abuse. Yeah. Right. And so unless you can figure out a way we already have an increase in DUIs, which I'll talk about this year. And so there's some public safety concern there.
You better believe it. So very good. Well, I'm glad that you are talking about those things because it is an issue. And, we've talked about the rise in DUIs. It's been breathtaking. It's been breathtaking. It really has been. Yeah. And but I'm glad you are talking about it. So very good. We'll let you continue on.
Yeah. Well, I'll hit that while we're talking about that, the DUI. So one of the things that we recently started this past month that I informed the board last night is a dedicated traffic unit. Law enforcement staffing has been a challenge, to say the least, across the country over the last 6 or 7 years. And we finally gotten to a point where we're at a really good staffing level. And one of the visions that Chief Head had when he became the police chief was to have a dedicated traffic unit. We haven't been able to do that because of staffing. Now, the timing works out great because we've had our traffic accidents in the city of Springfield have been over 600 for the last 2 years. That is entirely too many.
Yeah.
600, I mean, that's averaging almost two a day, not quite 2 a day, but that's a lot. And that needs to be brought down quite a bit. And we all know what we're dealing with distracted driving. There's so many things in the vehicle now, and with our phones and that sort of thing. So we have a dedicated traffic unit that is designed to, make traffic contacts and let people know. And so we've made 190 in 4 weeks, just in starting that, we've made 192 traffic contacts. Now, so I told them last night, it's not about writing citations and getting revenue, again, because we're going to get $50. Okay. Yeah. And so that $50 off of that citation is not going to move the needle in the city's budget. So maybe for some cities that makes a difference when they get speeding ticket revenue. That does not. We have a $132 million budget, and your $50 does not move that needle, right? Right? So it's not about that. It's about safety. It's about people saying, we've got too many traffic crashes. Now we've got a lot of folks on the road now too, but it's about making the roads and the streets safer. And so not all of those are going to be citations. It's going to be a lot of warnings, right? And then writing citations to folks who haven't heeded the warnings. But having a traffic unit, what we want, and we don't realize sometimes, but we want to make sure when we go through a red light, or when a light turns green and we want to be able to go through without having to look to make sure nobody's texting and about to blow through and T-bone us, right?
I look. I do. Right. I've gotten to where I look.
Yeah. Because you just can't trust, folks now, like, because of so many distractions. So our goal is to make the road safer. It's not to get revenue. We don't care about the revenue. The $50 doesn't matter. It's about making the road safer. That's what we're after.
When you were talking about the citation fee and stuff, I thought you were talking specifically about, like, if your grass is too tall or I didn't think it was traffic violations too have to be $50.
$50.
Really?
Speeding, except for those that the legislature has set lower. So seatbelt violations, for instance, are $25. Okay. For first offense, and you cannot charge court costs on those.
If you're going 100 miles an hour does that get into a reckless driving situation where you could jack it up a little bit more?
You would get into a potential arrest situation, which is going to be a state law situation, not a city ordinance. Okay.
So a city ordinance, I did not realize that if a city officer gives you a ticket for speeding, like going 55 and a 35, it's $50.
The maximum fine is $50.
That needs to be raised. On traffic stops, for sure.
We agree.
I mean, and distracted driving needs to be way higher.
Yeah.
And somebody that struggles with it. I'm one of those people. I'll stop at a stoplight and I'll be looking at my phone, and I struggle with it, and I'm trying to, because I mean, I've heard too many horror stories. And I think, well, I'm careful. No, stop it. We got to stop it. We've got to stop it, guys. And we did a mock crash up at Greenbrier the other day.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And the only thing it was really well done and all of that, but just like the kids that were doing it, we get giggly. The girl that got arrested, she kind of, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I killed somebody. You know what I mean? And so, and I mean, bless their hearts, they're trying, but it's like their friends are watching them and all that. Yeah. And so it kind of it kind of turns it into almost like a joking kind of thing with the kids. And so I found that when my kids came back in, it was like a jokey kind of thing. And I was like, let's stop it right now.
Yeah.
And one was like, well, I watch TV when I drive. And I'm like, really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Because you've got these screens that are for you've got your guidance, whatever. I don't have a car like that because I drive old stuff. But you have those little, the screen that's on your dash.
Yeah, like with your with navigation or your radio and all that.
Apparently, you can throw movies up there and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
According to them, you can watch movies, and that just freaks me out. It's like, how in the world are you watching movies driving down the road? Wow. Yeah. And I mean, and this is one of my kiddos said that they did that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I mean, they got a lecture. They got a lecture from old Miss Vivio.
Well, good.
And
they needed one.
I've actually got a video. I've got a video of a kid that was going to college to play football, and he got crippled because somebody was a distracted driver and ran over him. So they're going to be watching that in the next week or so, because I found that, and I was like, I'm showing this to them because they didn't understand. I understand they did a really good job with the mock crash, but because it was their friends, and and it's hard to keep the straight face and all that when you're at. I was like, they're kind of making a joke out of it, and they can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm distracted
No,
from your topic.
that's,
it's an important one though, but those
really
fees for
is.
distracted driving need to be way up.
Agreed.
Way up.
It's
Come on, state legislature, let's fix that. We'll have to talk to Carrie Roberts about that.
Yeah, and it requires them. I think the
And Sabi.
hesitancy has been because it requires opening the state constitution. You have to amend the state constitution, right? Which is not an easy thing to do. It's not just passing a law and changing the statute.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it tougher. In their defense, I mean, it's
that's true.
it's a tougher task, but it
I
would
missed that little caveat that you shared that, and it just didn't.
It would be nice to have that where, because like you said, $50 doesn't deter folks from a lot these days. Now that might have been when that $50 maximum was put into place, but now it's a little bit different.
Interesting. I'm talking with Ron Martin. He is our city manager here in Springfield, and so we're talking about the mayor and alderman meeting last night, and this is what's been going on. What else you got for us?
So last night we also talked about, and this is a conversation that will go on for probably the next month or two, talking about the growth of our water system. And in our comprehensive growth plan, our consultants that we had hired to do that said, hey, you need to be looking at the growth of your water system and how far you want to grow outside the city limits, because you've got a lot of growth coming, and you want to make sure that you can accommodate that growth inside the city and not have allocated all of your taps outside of your city and grown somebody else's economy, right? And not the city's. So that's something that we've really taken a look at. We presented some ideas to the board last night, and they want us to come back with more of a written policy on that. And I want to be clear, and this is why I bring this up. We do not have a water shortage. We do not have a water capacity issue. That is not why we're talking about this. So I want to be very clear that there is not a concern about not being able to provide water. There's no concern about being able to provide water to our customers at all. We're in really good shape. We're in the midst of an upgrade to our water treatment plant that's going to take our capacity to 10 million gallons a day. And not the wastewater side. We're doing the wastewater side too, but the water treatment plant. We don't want to get those two things confused. That'd be bad news. But upgrading to 10 million gallons a day. Plus, we also buy a secondary source in case something were to happen to the plant. We're in great shape on water. What we're doing now with this is looking at down the road 10 to 15 years, right? And saying, okay, if we grow, we'll probably be at 80% of, once we get finished growing, finished growing, we might be at 80%, estimate 80% of our capacity, which still leaves, a decent amount of capacity if we get that number wrong by a little bit, right? So if that's the growth in Springfield, where do we need to kind of pay attention outside of the city of Springfield and look at where the infrastructure investment shouldn't be there, right? And where we should kind of limit and cut off the growth of the system. That's all. It's not a water shortage. It's not a water capacity. We're in great shape. We're doing the planning for down the road.
Right.
That's all it is.
Just like I have a Springfield address. We have Springfield water, but I'm technically in the county.
Yeah.
So you got to look at those things.
We service about 60% of the county. Yeah. Including the city of Springfield. We service about 60%. So our water system goes outside, and we just need to be mindful of how far we go and how many taps we allocate. That's really what it boils down to. Our current customers, the ones in the county, there's no concern. Right. It's about down the road, how many new customers can we take on outside the city limits? Gotcha. That's what it boils down to.
Right. Well, and it's just one thing they, recently, it was a few years ago, opened up more water taps on our road. And it's that kind of thing that you're considering. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, continue on. I'm just going to let you keep going. I'm just going to keep prompting you.
Everyone wants to know about Batson Parkway, an update on that. We're about 3 to 4 weeks away. It looks like at this point we're finishing some electrical conduit work, that's going to be used to provide electricity to those properties, also the street lighting. So that's going in. Once that's the paving will be over top of that. We need to finish that first before we can go in and do the top coat, the paving, because we don't want to bust up new pavement, right? So we're finishing that. We've got about 3 to 4 weeks left, I think, on everything and to get it paved. So we're excited. We think towards the end of September that we'll be able to open that road. And And
we're all excited.
Yeah.
All of us that make that run down 41, and it's
Yeah.
like, ooh, I can get to the other side of town now.
That's right.
So easily.
It's going to be, looking at the traffic counts in the study, and we're going to reconfigure that intersection for the time being to be a four-way stop because we anticipate Black Patch Drive still having quite a bit of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
We know that the traffic on Batson's going to pick up quite a bit. So at a safety, it's a four-way stop. We'll evaluate and see when more growth happens out on Batson Parkway, what traffic on Black Patch looks like versus whether there's a traffic light warranted. There's all sorts of studies. I know on Facebook everybody's a traffic engineer, just like they're a constitutional scholar and that sort of thing. But the reality is the data drives it. Safety drives the decisions that are made by the folks that do that. So it's not about, I know change is difficult and change is hard, but it's about safety and it's about data and making the right decisions there.
Very good. Very good. Ron Martin, continuing on, our city manager, mayor and alderman meeting report. And let me go ahead and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards, and we'll come back to your reset and you figure out exactly how much time you have left and what all you can cover. But Barry and Rebecca Richards, it's so funny, the guys were in here talking about the safety program that they're doing out at Kilgore this weekend. I kind of bet Barry and Rebecca will be out there. I'm not for sure they will be, but they're so involved in the community. They're in Cross Plains. They're Cross Plainians, been there for nearly 30 years. So they specialize when it comes to their real estate business in Robertson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line of Kentucky because they have experiences outside these boundaries. They're from Kentucky, just like me. They've worked in Nashville. Barry was 17 years a media marketing vice president, and he brings that, expertise to videography and photography and drone footage. He's the broker now that's officed here in Springfield for Exit Prime Realty. That's their new branch in the Exit Tree. They're still with Exit. They just kind of opened up a new office. They took Rebecca's agency office in White House, combined it with his brokerage office here in Springfield, and brought you a new branch in the Exit Tree. They are experts at what they do, guys. And any question you have about real estate, buying, selling, maybe it's time to downsize. She's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, so she's expert at helping you do that. Cannot say enough about my friends. Reach out to them today. You might see them out at that safety thing at Kilgore this weekend. But 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425 is Rebecca's number. Or you can catch them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, RobertsonCounty.com. It's all you now, top of the hour.
Okay, a few more things just to cover real quick, some announcements mainly. Want to let people know that we're going to be doing some renovation at City Hall that's kind of been planned for a while, and we think will improve customer service. So it'll improve the quality of the the look of the building. There's some carpet and things that need to be replaced, some painting that needs to be done. So some minor touch-ups in that regard, but also some relocation to make customer service, maybe improve that quality a little bit. One of the key things that we hear from folks at City Hall when they come in is they don't know where to go.
Right. And
they don't know who to talk to. So we're going to relocate someone there that's going to be available to direct them where to go.
Oh,
if you're from here, and for years everyone was from here and they knew where to go when they walked in City Hall. We've got a lot of folks that aren't from here and walk into City Hall and they don't know. So we put the screen up there to try to help. But we're going to relocate. We're going to try to improve that customer service by relocating somebody to the front of the building.
We've talked a lot about City Hall because the Veteran Service Office has moved out, so that's opened up some space. Of course, Mayor Vogel's across the street. So we've been talking a lot about all the moving pieces with all of that here in the last week because of everybody moving around.
Yeah.
So it's going to be obvious that there's some stuff going on, y'all.
Yeah, we're doing. Good. So I know the county's doing stuff at the office building, the courthouse, and we're doing. They've got a lot of renovations, I think, going on. Then so we're going to be. So it's not a good time for to visit. You can still. We'll try to make it as minimal of an interruption as possible. But we appreciate everyone's patience.
You got business come, but if you're just looking around, you might want to wait.
Yeah, might want to wait a little bit.
Wait a
couple weeks. A couple things. First Friday Night Market's coming up. First Friday in September. It's in a couple weeks away. We'll have. I think it's. I have to look back at that so I don't get the band name wrong. It's Creek Water, and they're a country and rock, 80s rock and country kind of band. Yeah. So we're excited about having them First Friday. First Fridays have been really successful this year, and people seem to be enjoying them and having a good time. So we encourage everybody to come out.
The last one.
There's one in October.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
There'll be one more after this one. Good news, electric and gas rates are down this month. Everyone knows we make monthly adjustments. We have to. We're required to make monthly adjustments based on the market. I told you we buy electricity from TVA. They do what's called a fuel cost adjustment every month, and so it's just a pass-through. We don't decide whether to charge it or what to charge. They dictate what that cost is going to be. Same with the purchase gas adjustment. We buy natural gas on the market to supply to folks here, and so those market adjustments every month. Good news is they both went down. So we'll see a slight, decrease in gas and electric rate or gas and electric bills this month, and so I know we'll be heading into the winter season soon, and I expect those markets always rise in the wintertime when that usage is going to be higher. So we'll enjoy it while we can. And also, one last update, we pulled some numbers on the electric vehicle charging station that we installed by the center, and was kind of curious on what that usage looked like. Kind of April was the first month that it opened, and I will admit I was shocked at how many, 178 charging sessions, they call them sessions, really? 178. So it's been used, and that's we can see the unique identifiers, so that's 178 total. Some of those obviously are the same, so we can see the unique ones. Yeah. And people have charged their vehicle multiple times, but it's a lot of unique visitors, and so people have found that charging station, which, hey, that's why we put it in to allow folks to that are going to buy an electric vehicle. I know some are and some aren't, and who wants to can, and whoever doesn't want to doesn't have to.
More power to you. It's not for me, but go for it.
Yeah, but whatever they want to do, it's and so that's something that we're excited to see get used. That was done off of a grant from the Volkswagen settlement, as a matter of fact, is how TDEC, it was a settlement fund, and TDEC was giving grants to, the state of Tennessee was giving grants to put in those charging stations, and since we're an electricity supplier, it was easy for us to do, right. Because we don't have to buy the electricity from somebody, we can put the electricity in. So it was really, really easy for us to do. It didn't really cost didn't cost taxpayers anything, and so it was great.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. I didn't realize there was that many electric cars in Springfield.
Well, me either.
That's very good. So that it?
That's it.
We got through it.
We got finished.
We still got 60 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. His office is always open. Right. They're just so easy to work with and so easy to talk to. And he's here every month, the day after the mayor and alderman meeting. I don't even have to call and remind him. Thank you, Ron. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us here for One Street Over. This is 1100 WSGI. Lee Marie is on her way in for the Go Show, and we appreciate her so much, and we hope that you'll join us for the rest of the week for One Street Over. And again, reminder that this Carroll Pitt Memorial football game is happening on Friday. We'll have more information on that for you as well. But we want to invite you again to come out and watch Springfield and Greenbrier go at it. Watch Greenbrier bring it home this year. I'm feeling good about it, guys. So we'll make it happen. Thank you for joining us again. Stay tuned for Lee Marie. She'll be in here in just a moment with the Go Show. One more time, this is 1100.
Bridgetop Mower provides lawnmower repair, parts and service, pickup and delivery.